In a sunny elementary school in Austin, Texas, there was a thoughtful first-grade teacher named Ms. Harper. Known for her creative teaching methods, Ms. Harper often found ways to weave valuable life lessons into her classroom activities. One day, she decided to teach her students about the burden of holding grudges and how it affects our lives. That morning, Ms. Harper stood in front of the class and announced a special project. "Tomorrow," she said with a warm smile, "I want each of you to bring a plastic bag and a few potatoes to school. We're going to do something meaningful." The children were curious and excited, wondering what the potatoes could possibly be for. The next day, Ms. Harper explained the activity. Each potato will represent a person you don't like or someone you hold a grudge against. She said, "Write the names of these people on the potatoes and place them in your bag. The number of potatoes in your bag will depend on how many people you're upset with or harbor negative feelings toward." The children eagerly began labeling their potatoes. Some wrote 1 or 2 names, while others wrote 4 or 5. They laughed and compared their bags, marveling at the variety of sizes. "This is fun," one student exclaimed. But Ms. Harper wasn't finished. "Now," she said, "here's the challenge. For the next week, you must carry this bag of potatoes with you everywhere you go. To class, to lunch, outside for recess, and even to the bathroom." The children giggled, thinking it would be easy. On the first day, the novelty made the task enjoyable. They swung their bags playfully and showed them off to their friends. By the second day, however, the excitement began to fade. The potatoes, once fresh and smooth, started to spoil. An unpleasant smell began to waft from the bags, and those with more potatoes found their bags cumbersome. The children started complaining. "This bag is so heavy," one groaned. "Mine smells terrible," another cried. By the fourth day, the children were visibly frustrated. The spoiled potatoes were sticky and foul, and the bags had become a constant nuisance. When the week finally ended, Ms. Harper stood before the class and announced, "You can now throw your potatoes away." The students erupted into cheers and raced to the trash bin, eagerly discarding their smelly burdens. Once the classroom was rid of the potatoes, Ms. Harper gathered her students and asked, "How did it feel carrying those potatoes with you all week?" "Awful," one student exclaimed. "I hated the smell, and it was so heavy," another added. Ms. Harper nodded, her expression serious but kind. "Those rotten potatoes are like the grudges and hatred we carry in our hearts," she explained. "Just as the smell and weight of the potatoes bothered you, holding onto anger and resentment weighs us down and makes our lives unpleasant. The longer you hold onto those feelings, the heavier and stinkier they become. But when you let them go, you feel lighter and free." The room grew quiet as the children reflected on her words. They began to understand that carrying negative feelings didn't just make life harder, it kept them from feeling truly happy. One child raised her hand. "Ms. Harper, so if we forgive people, it's like throwing away the potatoes?" Ms. Harper smiled warmly. "Exactly. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget what happened, but it means you choose not to let it weigh on you anymore. When you forgive, you set yourself free." The children nodded, their young minds absorbing the valuable lesson. For the rest of the day, they seemed lighter, not just because their bags were gone, but because they understood something profound. ## lessons for today's society. This story is a powerful reminder for all of us. Hatred, grudges, and resentment don't harm the people we're angry at, they hurt us. They weigh on our hearts and minds, making our lives heavier and less joyful. Letting go of negative feelings is like throwing away those rotten potatoes. It frees us to live lighter, happier lives. Take a moment to reflect. Are you carrying a bag of potatoes in your heart? If so, let them go. Forgiveness and kindness don't just help others, they set you free. If you find this story interesting and learn a lesson that helps improve your life, please like and leave your comments below. We would love to hear your story.